right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to the Citizen Council live stream. I'm Chris.
Yeah, we made it.
Perry. We made it. We made it to Wednesday.
So how's it going?
Music. It's going good. I'm exhausted.
You said you've had a long day.
Yeah, I've been working straight since pretty much 4. Just finished a half an hour ago, so I'm brain dead. So you guys are gonna have to take the lead on this one.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, did you guys have anything that you wanted to discuss?
We had a busy week. I did that interview with Danielle on last week, and that was pretty cool. Everybody kind of pitched in and asked questions and joined. First time I've ever done something quite like that format, so I was a little rusty, but I think I'm going to try that again with other candidates. So I think that's going to be the format going forward for the primary.
Nice.
But yeah, we had some events. We went to the Egyptian Theater on Friday and saw what's the movie? The classic, Sometimes a Great Notion, classic Oregon film.
Yeah.
And it was my first time seeing it ever. This is or not all of us, but some of us outside the theater.
Cool.
Jill said that normally those movie nights are about 30 to 50 people, mildly attended. And she had over 160 people in the theater.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
I can't take the credit for all of that. I don't think that was all us, but I did put it out on blast to a couple hundred people.
Cool.
So you never know. I don't know everybody on our mailing list. Like there's some people that have come in and signed petitions that met Rob, and then signed up for our email list. So maybe there are a bunch of conservatives in there. I know I probably recognize maybe 30 of us, but it was cool though. She was pretty excited. Theater's been doing well.
Cool.
Has given them a lot of attendance at stuff. So.
I booked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
She wants us back, and I was like, really? You want to do that again? Yeah.
Yeah, I have it booked for April 3rd. I'm gonna do kind of a civics forum. I have a specific. I had it written down even somewhere.
What is the date?
April 3rd.
April 3rd. Okay.
From 6 to 8. I'm going to do basically an introductory, kind of a candidate speech type thing, who I am, why I'm doing this. And I'm going to go into what's going to be on the May ballot, who's going to be on the ballot, and break down any of the petitions that make it to the ballot. I'm going to talk about how primary elections work and why it matters, how you're registered. I'm going to talk about how money moves from the state to the county and vice versa, and kind of just give people a little bit of facts around that stuff. And then I'm going to do a Q&A session.
All right.
That's what I got lined up.
Cool.
Yeah. And Jill has been amazing to work with, I have to say. What a great organization. Love it.
She's great. She took the mic away from me once at a public meeting. I was pretty annoyed, but since then we've been having a great relationship. Well, when you get the graphic for that, hand it over to us, and we can put it on the show, and then I can. Okay, well,
I'll send it to you right now. I just finished it today.
All right, and I can. I've got an email, a weekly conservative news and events email going out to everybody. If you want to get on that list and you're not already getting that email, send me a message on Facebook or go to Coos County Conservatives.com and sign up for our newsletter. I don't have I wonder how fast I can type it. Coos County Conservatives.com. Did I spell it right? There are not 2 V's in conservatives. Add banner. There we go. Hey, CoosCountyConservatives.com. If you want to get signed up for weekly email, it has conservative events that are going on for the week. And I try and put notices out for stuff like big things for the next month or two. I'm also going to start listing all the public meetings for the week. I think that would be cool for
This is
people.
a big red page when you open it up.
Yep.
Okay, I found it. Yep.
Somewhere on
Cool.
there, there's a link for click get involved, I think is where you would sign up.
Very
It's
cool.
also
Very
where
cool.
we're gonna do candidate surveys, candidate questionnaires for the primaries, and we're gonna have them on that website, so people can compare candidates. And I'm gonna try and get everybody, not just the Republican candidates. So
Man,
you'll
that's
be
going
able
to
to.
be so helpful because people, that's what people always want is like, who are these people that are running for office? And of course, there's the voters pamphlet, but I don't know that. Does everyone submit to the voters pamphlet?
Yeah, you have to pay for it, I believe, or you can get signatures. It's like
I
100
forget how much
signatures
it
or
is.
500 signatures or something. I don't remember. I think it's 100 signatures or like $500, something like that. Don't quote me. But
Hmm.
make sure you're in that. That was so when I ran for commissioner a
Oh,
couple years
I
ago, I
already
was
have it in
not
here.
in there, and that was so dumb. People like, especially because I was an unknown candidate, that was that was not smart. So everybody should be in there. That does go out to all voters. Um, but you get just a little paragraph, and it's kind of like an introduction, and it's like, we want to have specific questions. Like, I'm conservative, our group is conservative. We want to ask people questions about their thoughts on traditional conservative values,
Nice.
limited government, things like that. So you'll be able to see how the candidates answer side by side.
Nice.
Very different than the
Cool.
voters pamphlet. The League of Women Voters does something sort of like that, but um, they they like censor stuff. Like when I was running for SWAC board, they would not let me talk about the fact that a sex offender works there. I mean, that it's just nuts. I don't know why it would not be. It's one of the main reasons I ran. But anyways, I digress.
That's wild. No, that's the degree to which sex abuse has been tolerated and swept under the rug in Coos County. And it's been going on since I was a child. And it's crazy that people are told about it happening. Like everybody talks big game, like they want justice. But then when they're told about horrible, horrible people in their own backyard, a lot of people just kind of shrug it off. Like, I mean, real people in our community who have learned about someone who was like, had a history of rape and was now working with minors. And they just kind of go, well, I mean, they assume that the rape was like blown out of proportion. So when the rapist says, well, it was actually a statutory thing and the parents got upset, and no, they didn't. No, they didn't. And he did it
Yeah,
again.
people
And
get
like,
away with just saying like, "Oh, it was a long time ago," or "Oh, it
yeah,
was confusing," or I don't know. It's pretty
yeah.
wild.
And man, until we support a culture of you don't ever get to have access to vulnerable people ever again, we're going to keep creating victims. And I really do look at it as creating victims.
Yep. I mean, it all goes back to electing different leadership. So all across the
Hmm.
board. I mean, why does our college have a sex offender working with high school students? Well, because of poor leadership, poor judgment, poor discernment. So I spoke at the commissioner meeting on Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember. And it's just like, they're not listening. Like, why do I do this? Why do I talk? Like, we need different leaders, so I don't even have to talk at the meeting. I mean, it's nuts. Like, I don't nitpick over tiny little issues. Like when I'm there, if I'm gonna log in and talk and make a comment, it's over something pretty significant, and they still don't even budge.
Was
They
it
don't
Coos
listen.
Bay?
So no, it was the county commissioner meeting. I was just following up on the drag. It wasn't even a drag show. The prom that I went to.
Oh, it was
Um,
Tuesday, wasn't it? And I thought it was today and I missed it. What happened? I meant to be there.
Nothing. I tried to talk, and because I was remote, I got like a minute in, and mysteriously, my volume got muffled, and they kept saying it was on my end. I tried two different microphones, and they worked with me. They would have somebody else talk, and then they would come back to me. I would like log out, log back in. I did that. Then I tried a different microphone. Then I called in on my phone, and it was very apparent that it was internal. Like the speaker in the room the volume had been reduced. So I don't know who would have done that. Maybe that's just karma for once mentioning that we should defund the IT department to save the jail. I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't really get to make my comment. I was like, a minute in and I was like introducing my point.
What was your comment going to be? Say it here.
That essentially, so all the whole issue is all the thing with this Pride prom, right? People were upset. Oh, there's going to be pedophiles there. There's a drag show for kids. The mocktails are mimicking alcoholic drinks, and that's a bad influence. Like all these things, right? Like it really, the bottom line, the most concrete, nonpartisan approach to why did it not make sense? Why did it cause an issue? Is because they were using public funds for an event that was controversial. And you don't even have to get into why it's controversial. Just the fact that it and then it didn't make sense. So like all the controversy, like the drag show, like the concept of a drag show, what is drag, being performed in front of kids was conflicting, right? Like that caused conflict. But it didn't even happen. There was no drag show. No one performed drag. There were two performers. They danced to a song, but there was no drag. They were in clothes of their own gender. They kept their clothes on. I mean, so was there never going to be a drag show? In that case, like I would be upset if I wanted to see the drag show. I'd be, accusing them of false advertising because they even sold tickets saying that there would be a drag show.
Legitimate.
And it's like, so was there going to be a drag show? Then it's like, why wasn't there one? Was it because of the backlash? Because you knew that like I was in the room and some other people had eyes on the event that it was canceled? I don't know. Or was there never going to be one to begin with? And you guys just like made a bunch of drama over it for what reason? I don't know. So I have a lot of questions. But again, it wasn't even a thing. And then the mocktails, there were no mocktails. If this was the main comment I was trying to give at the commissioners meeting, which is the funding was for mocktails, for alcoholism prevention awareness, or alternatives to alcohol awareness around that concept. Well, there weren't any mocktails. If you would have asked these kids and they had never heard the word mocktail or never heard of Coos Health and Wellness, and you just asked these kids who came out of this event, what did you guys just drink? Like, what were you drinking in there? They would have said fruit punch. They would have said we were drinking punch, like fruity punch. They even had the ingredients listed, and it was just fruit. There was no like non-alcoholic whiskey or gin or something like in the drink to make it a mocktail. It was just punch. So this whole thing of mocktail just made no sense. And there was a little pile of papers, like quarter-page papers that explained, I guess, someone got music playing. It's really loud.
Is it me?
Yes, it was Brandi. It was getting like progressively louder. Anyways, but yeah, they had a little stack of papers that I couldn't see. It was way too dark to even see, but I glanced at it and I presume it was about alcohol, alternatives to alcohol. No one was grabbing these papers. No one, I stood there for a while watching the line of people getting drinks. No one was handing it to them. No one was discussing it with them. There was, an audio system with a mic. No one at any point got on the mic and explained what the booth was or why there's mocktails or what a mocktail is or why it's better to drink this and not alcohol. Nothing. So the concept of using grant funds, which are supposed to be for that purpose, the grant funds are for an alternative to alcohol program, education, that didn't happen. So like, is that fraud? I mean, like, I don't want to be like dramatic and be like, that's fraud, but like, kind
Failure,
of, you
maybe a
used,
failure. I wouldn't call it fraud. I think that the
but
intent was
did you do it
genuine.
intentionally? I don't know.
That's the that's
Uh,
the only positive thing to what they were trying to do,
Right.
is to
And they
try
didn't do it.
to help prevent underage drinking or
I'm
whatever.
wondering if the nature of the event shifted. Was there a tattoo artist there?
Yeah, so it's at the mall, right? They had like a whole wing of the mall blocked off for this, and it's right where the tattoo artist has her tattoo parlor. So it
Okay.
was just kind of like open, like that part of the mall was open to her. So I
Okay.
don't think it
So
was
it
like
wasn't like
encouraging tattoos,
one
but
big room with like the tattoo artist doing tattoos in the corner and like a bar serving mocktails in the other corner. I think there's so we've got two things going on here. Either the event was inappropriate and it was set up to be like the flyer indicated, and there were some question marks around that, or the flyer was misleading. And I really want to stress that if the flyer was misleading, like y'all are not victims.
well,
Like
and like so I met a
communicate
lot of people at
clearly.
this event and I talked with a lot of them, especially organizers and stuff. And like I think the vast majority of these people were attendees or organizers were just there to have a good time, to have
Yeah.
a nice evening. But I have some serious questions about a few of the people who were key in organizing this event and promoting this event. Because yeah, like you were just saying, was it was it misaligned advertising? And like I don't believe in like somebody just did that like oopsie, I guess it wasn't a drag show, I didn't really know. It's like you guys really promoted it as that. So did you adjust what was supposed to be at this event? Did you tone down the mocktail and the bar environment and tone down the drag in front of kids environment? And why? I'd like to know, like, was it because you realized it was inappropriate? Because you just didn't want backlash? Or was it never the intention? And then that makes me wonder why promote it as an event with those things. Were you trying to tick everybody off and divide the community? So,
Like there's deceit going on either way. Or
and I
so
think
the way
it's
it was framed
limited
to
to a few
me is
people
that
doing that.
the director of the event didn't realize, because in the community these terms mean different, they're used differently. I have I have a thought
That
on
is
that.
such a BS argument. I've heard
In
that so many
any
times.
situation, in any communication, it is the person who is communicating, the person who's sending the message. It's your responsibility to tailor the message to your receiver so that the receiver receives it. It's not the receiver's duty to like figure you out. It's your job to communicate your message clearly and effectively. If it's misunderstood, it's on you to correct that. So if they're communicating and they say it's not for the general public, well, she said it was open to the public. Like
But what part? Like,
there's a lot of double speak wrapped up. And I
well,
did look at
well,
the
like
transcript.
Drew kept bringing up the word mocktails and saying that like there's different definitions of the word. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like mocktail means something. You go to the grocery store. Oh, I wish I had these
I buy
pictures. Like
okay, so this is an
you can go to
alcohol
Fred
remove.
Meyer.
This is a mocktail. This tastes like wine. I mean,
Right. It
it's
tastes
not,
like
it
it
doesn't
should
taste,
taste just like alcohol.
I would say it
If you
tastes
have
kind
a
of like a Malbec, like a really dry Malbec, but like super light, like, maybe
like if you had a mock
5 month
martini, it should taste
bottle of
like a
bottle wine.
martini. There's just no buzz, right? I mean, I think you could include like a virgin pina colada and stuff in mocktails, but now you're really kind of getting away from the idea of it.
Well, the idea is
And
like a
that's pretty
bar
fruity, but
atmosphere. The whole
right.
idea is an alcohol environment. The mocktail is not about what's in your cup. It's about the environment of alcohol. It is about alcohol cueing, which was
Otherwise, you
brought
just
up
call it
multiple
punch
times.
or you'd
Yes,
call it smoothies. Like if you were just
yes.
having pina coladas and strawberry daiquiris and they had no alcohol, you would just say we're having pineapple smoothies. and strawberry smoothies.
It's about
Like
context.
there'd be no reason why kids would label it as alcohol. Like it's
Right.
nuts. It's nuts.
Like if I were
It's
to just
driving me
be
nuts even that we're talking about it. It's so dumb.
pouring this in it like a different cup and drinking it like grape juice at in a totally different context in the middle of the day when I would not normally have wine, I wouldn't think as much of it, but it works as a wine replacement because this is normally where I would sit down, I would settle in, I would have a glass of wine and we would chat. And so the mocktail is about the environment also. And that's kind of, it sucks that we're talking about this in a context where that should be understood.
Think I got a picture from Fred Meyer. It's loading. I was walking down the aisle on Fred Meyer's. It won't load. Damn it.
You
It's
got a
frustrating.
picture of what in Fred Meyer?
There's the whole end aisle section for mocktails. And like
Hmm.
all of the latest mocktails, it says mock cosmopolitan, mocktail, Moscow Mule mocktail. Like, and then at the bottom they have all these spirits like non-alcoholic whiskey, non-alcoholic vodka, so you can make your own. The whole point is to make a drink that's normally alcoholic, but it just doesn't have any alcohol. The point is not to make punch or fruit drinks. You can go do
And
that and not call it a mocktail. There's
yeah,
no
I
purpose.
was
So
super
stupid.
happy to see that they did put it out on a table, like what you should, do with minors around. There was some changes that I was hoping to see, and it sounds like those were made. And so if there was people who were involved, thank you, that kind of helped rein that in and make sure that the event really was family
But
friendly
that
and not
implies
like,
that the initial version of that event was inappropriate, right?
of course it
That
does.
implication exists strongly. I mean,
Of course it
the other
does.
point, like they mentioned that it was like, I think they tried to bill it as like a prom for like people, like adults who missed your prom. Like I've seen like
Yeah.
a
Yeah. I
disco
heard
prom,
that
right?
too.
For older people who missed their prom or they just wanted to revisit their prom and or go to prom with like the love of your life because you weren't with them in high school. This was not that. There was like 90% prom aged people, like 14 to 18-year-olds. That was the vast majority of the people there. So this was 100% a prom for young kids. So just adding some of these elements
So if
like
we could make it
mocktails,
very, very, very,
tattoos,
very
and
clear,
drag made no
what was
sense.
the primary age demographic?
Like 14 to 18 was who showed up
Okay.
from my perspective. That's what
Because
I
it was
saw. It
never
was like
made
200
clear.
people there.
There were so
Well,
many
there's a
questions.
difference between who shows up and who it was targeted to, but that's and again, like, see, this is so I want to write all this up so people can understand because if you only watch part of this or you only hear part of this and walk away, you're going to be missing a big part of it. And it's like I do want to say, I saw a group of 200 or so kids having a great time, having a really good time, and that's awesome. I couldn't organize something like that. I couldn't bring 200 kids together and let them have a good time. And it looked like a good, safe time. There was nothing weird going on for the most part. Like if you squint, like if I squinted, there was nothing really weird going on. I didn't see any pedophiles walking around trying to pick up young kids. I didn't see people taking their clothes off and dancing. I didn't see a bunch of kids acting like they were drinking alcohol, even though it was a mocktail. You know what I mean? Like nothing. All the things that I think we kind of thought, like, hey, this is not okay. This is weird. Really,
Because of the
for the most
language
part,
used on the flyer.
right? Really, for the most part, that didn't happen. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, I think they put on a pretty cool event. But then that makes me wonder, like, well,
Awesome.
why did all this happen? Why did you need $200 from a grant for alcoholism prevention from Coos Health and Wellness to put on your event? Why did you need that? I mean, if you had 200 people there paying, I think tickets were $20 each. Some people got in for free, but you guys made a good amount of money. You didn't need that. And also I didn't see $200 worth of punch being made. I saw like $50 worth of punch being made. So I really feel like they used this whole mocktail thing, this grant, to get a Coos Health and Wellness label on the poster. I really feel that. Sorry if that offends some people who organize the event. You don't feel that way. That is the very strong impression that is being given based on all things considered. And I considered everything. I went to the event. I talked with everybody. I did my research. So I don't know. So Perry, you've got thoughts. I know you've got thoughts.
It's they won't be transparent about anything. They won't. It's proven they won't. They don't like being part of the community. They like being separated from the community. And that's a problem. And
Do you think
they
it's
can
a
blame
leadership
whoever they
thing?
want, but it is self-inflicted because they do it to themselves because that's what they want. And it'll never make sense. Equal rights, no, it's not equal rights. They want to be able to do more, and it's I don't understand why they need to separate themselves. It makes no sense. If you want to be
And
equal,
that
be
was what I
equal.
was trying to talk with people about, is like, I hope that what comes of this is that we can all realize that, because I kept saying, like, what I'm witnessing is cool. It looks like a normal prom. Like if you ignore
So can we
the
communicate in a
the
way
same
that's going to be
sex
received
dancing,
appropriately?
yeah. I just think that, like, it looked normal to me. I was talking with Drew Farmer. I was sitting with him for a while, and I just said, well, my high school prom had same-sex people dancing. It wasn't weird to me. That was back in 2004, 2005. That wasn't weird. So it's definitely not weird now. So that shouldn't be weird. So taking that out of it, it looked like a totally normal prom, and it should be. So I think if there's a goal here for the community, it would be that you don't have to have separate events, like Perry's saying. Like, it should not be separate. Why are we separating each other? And anybody who is, if there's people in leadership who are purposely keeping groups separate and sending us down that path, that's wrong. So sorry, I cut you off, Perry. I
If
didn't mean to we were making a really damn good point.
if they're decent people, they would explain it. They would explain it and not lie to us. Say, hey, maybe it was over the top, or hey, we weren't honest on our flyer, something, because once again, if you want to be a part of the community, you can't just create drama because you think people shouldn't care about the safety of children. You want to throw
Just
a fit
a
because people
simple,
care.
I can see how, that language would be received, and I apologize for the public impression created, like a shred of accountability. You're right.
Yeah, and just because they feel that children shouldn't be protected, or whatever ridiculous claims they want to make about being able to have a drag show, whatever, doesn't mean the majority of the community doesn't want to protect our kids. And if they are going to be part of the community, which they don't want to be, they need to accept that and realize that being part of the community is knowing that most of us care about the safety. And so we
Are you
will say
suggesting
something.
that segregation is harmful?
It's ridiculous. I don't know why we got to go back to the 1950s or whenever. Segregation is such a wonderful thing now, I guess. From the same people who will call other people Nazis and racists and whatever. I don't even know what world we live in.
Well, in that event, I know some people got kicked out of the prom, and I don't know what they were doing. I wasn't there for that. But they welcomed me in. I mean, they were a little bit like, at first, they're like, Chris, no filming or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm not here to cause problems, right? So, but after that initial, like, pat down, they didn't pat me down, but it was fine. They welcomed me in. They were really friendly. Everybody was super nice. No one, I didn't feel that anybody was weirded out that I was there. Um, I didn't feel weirded out by people, so I thought it was neat. And everyone I talked with agreed that going forward, like, let's try and live in a community where this could just be an emo prom, right? It was like emo themed. Just have an
Yeah.
emo themed prom then,
And
and
don't
it could be
use
sponsored
like
by South
buzzwords
Coast
that
Pride.
have certain connotation.
Right. Especially if you're not even going to have those things there. Like, don't say drag if there is no drag. You could say there's going to be a performance or like music, like, so there's going to be some people dancing to some dance routines, because that's what happened, but it wasn't drag. Also, like, here, I do have, this is mocktails. Like, so this is Fred Meyer, right? This is what they sell at the grocery store. So can we just end the debate on like what mocktails
So
mean?
we
Like,
expected these to be served,
yeah,
to
this is what
kids.
mocktails is. So it drives me mad when Drew and other people, Commissioner Drew Farmer, says like, "Oh, well, that's not the definition of mocktails." Like, what world do you live in, man?
He lives in a world where he can say whatever he wants and expects people to just accept it, even though he's lying straight to your face. Unless he's that
Does
stupid. Unless he is
does
that
seem that
stupid.
way? Because yeah, you're pulling my leg, man. And then here's another thing. So we're talking about the drag show. There was a photographer there, right? So they had a photographer taking photos. By the way, their photographer is awesome. Um, his photos are fantastic. And I looked at some of his other photos from other events. He does a really good job. Like Mr. Mike Photography. If you find him on Facebook, book him for an event. He's really good. Anyways, they had like a placeholder album. So when you're there getting photos, they had a QR code and you could, scan it. So then the next day you would know where to get the photos. Well, when you go to this album, it doesn't. And now when you go there, the album is all the photos from the drag or from the prom. But before it was loaded, this is what it looked like. And so when we're sitting here thinking there's going to be a drag show performed for kids in front of kids, and we're thinking this in our mind, what we think it was exactly what we're thinking. That's what they were planning. Why would the photographer have put this image up as the placeholder if that's not what they were planning? And this is the actual image. So like, because the lettering covered her face, but it's a kid, not just a short person. So now I don't know what event this is from. It was just a placeholder. This did not happen, by the way, at the event. But you know what I mean? Like, why was this the placeholder? And then now if you go to that album, it's normal photos from a prom. Well, semi-normal. There was a lot of like devil worshiping things. And it was very emo, like dark emo. I was emo in like 7th grade for a year, and I was not that kind of emo. So I missed that memo.
I could never take myself seriously enough to do that shit. I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm spooky.
Yeah, it looked like a Halloween party. But my point is it was not, there was no one in drag. And they were not performing with kids.
Fun too, that's the other thing is like, it's when you combine all of these adult elements and words that mean certain things in the adult world, it just, man, it was so unnecessary. You guys
Well, we
brought
don't
up
even need to
leadership
get
a
into
couple of
whether it's
times.
appropriate or not, but it's like, why was it said that it was going to be this, and then we were given that?
Yep.
We would like an explanation, because if it was deemed inappropriate, like let's say Coos Health and Wellness, because they got kind of yelled at and chewed out for this. Maybe they went back to the event organizer and say, hey, as long as our name's on this, if you don't want us to take our name off, you're not going to have some drag performance in front of kids. And we, the public, deserve the transparency of that answer. And I don't know if that's the answer. It would be best
for everyone to know what conversations were had behind closed doors. It's kind of a shame that people in our community, a lot of it, I think, is ego. People are so defensive. Just say you're sorry. Just say, you could have gotten it better and you're going to try to do better and just move on. But people keep sweeping stuff under the rug, and it makes, like, everyone knows. We'll know. people aren't stupid, and it makes the public not trust these leaders. Let's be honest, dude. Perfect example. Guess what? I have no idea what I'm doing. I ordered cards and I made the print so light and small that you can't read it. I ordered like 500 of them. F me, right? But you know what? The other side is really good though. So, and it does have a
that is
QR
nice.
code to donate to me. So you'll find
There
my
you go.
website. So you can find the email to yell at me for not being able to read my card. But like, you know, when you make mistakes, just own it. You can't.
Or just say we went too far,
You're
you know?
yeah.
I think people
like
on the
just
right went too far with it. You know, they were saying that there was going to be pedophiles there and stuff. And like, come on, I really don't think. Now, but then again, I do have to say, um, I was kind of hit on by a couple young people,
here's the
and if
thing.
I was like that, people could, right? People could have gone in there, but that's not what happened, right? That I did not see any pedophiles walking around trying to
Right.
pick up young kids, but they could have, which is why it's weird to have adults dancing with kids at a prom. Just call it a community event or a community dance or something. Don't label it as prom on Valentine's Day with mocktails. See that when you start loading all those things on top of one another, it gets freaky. Sorry, Brandi, go ahead.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I do just keep kind of going back to leadership and oh my God, how did she know? Is it really that obvious?
I'm an Aries as well. Perry, what are you? Do you know your
Virgo.
horoscope, whatever you call it? Virgo? What is that? Are you like a typical Virgo?
I have no idea.
Good
I don't
try.
think I'm
We'll have to look
typical
that up.
anything.
That does
Laura's
track.
telling us to move on, and I
She's had
agree.
enough. I've had enough of it too.
I've had enough. It's
So let's
such a
talk
dumb
about getting
thing.
good leadership here in Coos County and developing a culture of transparency and accountability. And really like at the heart of this, I know we sound like we're really like hard on people, but I'm like quick to forgive. If you say my bad, I'm going to do better. I give people the benefit of the doubt, give people grace. I just wish everybody was a little bit more forthcoming. Stop acting like you got it, you know, everybody's perfect. Stop gaslighting people into thinking that no, you just misunderstood. I just wish people would be a little bit more transparent.
Yep. Well, we have an opportunity to elect more transparent people coming up here. We've got the primary for the governor's race. We've got commissioner candidates. We have House District 9, which is like the northern part of Coos County and beyond, is a contested election. So that, and speaking of that, we had Troy Cribbins and Claire Lynn are the two people who are filed. We had Troy at our Saturday event. He came in and, I have not gotten along with Troy in the past. We've kind of butted heads at city council meetings, but he came in and he talked, and we agree, like check on like foundational conservative values, like big picture, principled things. But as we got into like the concretes, things are a little different. I think his vision is more, we've got to be a little more moderate to appeal to the reality that is Oregon right now, our county and our state. I agree with that to some extent, but
I want to know what that means.
we've got to, he just kept essentially saying that like, until we elect more conservatives, until we get more Republicans in office, there's not much that they can do, right? And at the state level, he would be running for a state rep. He'd be heavily in the minority, right? So just because he has these foundational values, believes in conservative principles and stuff, doesn't mean that that's going to materialize into a slew of conservative legislation coming out of the state, right? So I agree with that reality, but I'd like to know what people are doing to elect more conservatives. So we're trying. We had Troy come in. We're going to have Claire Lynn in a couple weeks, actually next week. Next Wednesday, people, I will not be doing my live stream or our live stream, this whole thing, because 6 p.m. at the North Bend Library, we're going to be having our monthly all hands on deck Friends of Coos County Republicans meeting. So 6 p.m. North Bend Library. And Claire, I believe, is coming. I think Troy might be coming as well. That would be cool to have them both talk. And then, if there's commissioners candidates there, we'll probably give them a couple minutes to introduce themselves. And yeah, that's what we're doing to try and get more conservatives elected. Get them out there, get people to know who they are, meet with them, ask them questions.
Chris, we need to be ballot harvesting.
So we had an idea for the election to have events all around the county, like especially on election day, to really just drum up a bunch of excitement around voting. I would love to have a location open in every city in Coos County. So like I believe there's 7 cities, a place for people to go. We'd have candidates and some of them, maybe they can meet the candidates, talk to them. Like that would be really neat. I don't know the legalities of like a sort of event with food and things, but we'd try and make it as cool and fun as possible and truly nonpartisan. Yes, I'm conservative. Yes, a lot of people who are conservative would probably be there, but we're just
You're
about
going to
getting
vote for
people
whoever you want to
interested.
vote for. Yeah.
Right. It's your ballot. It's your vote. It's your choice. We're just trying to get more information out there. I have a choice pretty much already made up between Troy and Claire, but I'm still going to promote both of them in terms of these people are candidates. This is what they stand for. And we should, get as much information out to people as possible. Same thing for the governor's candidates for the Republican primary. No, is there even a Democrat primary? I think it's just Tina Kotek, right?
So maybe you can answer this. I have a question about Troy. Does he talk about grants a lot, or does he talk about building industry a lot?
He's all about economic development. That's a big thing he's talking about a lot. He has a really kick-ass website. I believe it's just his name, like troycribbins.com. Really well done website. So a lot of information on there. And I'm sure Claire has one as well. We're going to put all that together. We're going to do candidate questionnaires. We're going to put them all on the website so people can kind of compare candidates and see, and have links to their website and stuff. But if people want to check out Rob Taylor's Monday live stream, his most recent one from Monday, he interviews Troy for about 30 minutes or so. Yeah. I don't want to speak for Troy. I'm not a spokesperson. So if people can watch his interview.
Out his website.
Maybe we'll do an interview. He spent like almost 3 hours with us on Saturday morning, which is really cool. So I appreciate that. I appreciate anybody, no matter what you believe in, if you're putting yourself out there, communicating with people, meeting with people, willing to answer questions. We got a lot of soft answers. Next time, I'd like some more hard answers, but everyone's
I want to talk
rebuilding
stages. Our private industry, building a class of entrepreneurs and self-employed individuals in Oregon again.
Ashley is saying, can you do something at Smooth Bores? Not like way south of here. That would be cool. Yeah. We want to do events. I think it's like Langlois. I don't know how to say that. Like south of
Bandon.
No, we want to do different events all around the county. Right now, we've just been doing stuff at our headquarters. We've had a lot of work building up the foundation of like this group. It's a lot of work. We started with nothing. Like we had no money, no people, no infrastructure, no email, no website, no way of communicating, no group chat, no hierarchy, like nothing. So we had to figure all this out, and we're still figuring it out, but we're getting there. This month, I just started a weekly email update. I think that's been working really well. I added all the like public leaders that are Republican on there, and I think they really appreciate getting the update. They've been responsive to that. So somebody just texted me and reminding me that the Republicans walked out today from the Senate. The Senate Republicans walked out. Very, very interesting if they're going to continue to do that to stop the gas tax being put on the May ballot. I don't know if you guys are
I think
interested
it's a
in that.
symptom of a larger problem. I mean, when you
Yeah.
have them using that tool, it is a symptom of a severe power imbalance, because if the bill is that bad, it means that there wasn't enough collaboration on it to begin with. This is an outright leadership failure on all fronts. It sucks
Well, and
that they're resorting to this.
And they don't want it to be on the November ballot because it'll bring a lot of people to the polls, and you'd be having someone vote like you'd be considering, do you want this gas tax? And then right next to it would be a checkbox for Tina Kotek as well. Like, do you really want to vote for the like you're going to vote no on the gas tax, but yes on the person that created it? So like,
Yeah.
he does not want that on the same ballot. So that she wants it like done now. And because of the news cycle is so fast, people will totally forget about it by November. That's why they want it done. And that's also why the Republicans, why they want it on the November ballot, because it would be most advantageous. So a lot of this is political, but it's also crazy. They just passed something today or yesterday to messing with taxes. Go ahead, Perry.
The worst part is, so these freaking elitist pieces of shit putting this, voting on this shit, get to spend their time getting paid to make these things up. And then we come in and are able to get a petition signed enough to have it get onto the ballot, which takes actual effort instead of being a bunch of nothing but Democrats doing whatever the hell they want. And they're just going to step right back in and change it again. That is completely not what this country is about.
And it's the same party that is out there almost every weekend with these rallies in every city, rallying for democracy. They're trying to save democracy.
Right.
Completely messing with ballot initiatives.
Then show us where you're spending the money. If you really want democracy, then show us a fully transparent budget where all of the money is going.
Can you imagine being those idiots down at the boardwalk protesting and just ignoring the fact that what their Oregon Democrats are doing? Can you imagine being those idiots?
Did you guys hear about Oregon has to dismiss 1,400 criminal cases due to attorney shortage? So that's why I ask, where is the money? Why do you need all of this? Show us what you're spending it on, because you're not spending it on the stuff that we thought you were. We thought you were spending it on enough DAs to keep us safe, and you're clearly not. So like, I don't understand why we can't. I know that forensic audits are expensive, but I feel like what is our 140 some odd $billion is the annual Oregon budget?
I never thought
they keep saying they're
spending it on public safety. I mean,
they keep saying they're broke. And then that's like why they implement the gas tax. They increase it. They say, oh, we're broke. The schools are all going broke. Everybody's going broke. Well, then they just, I think it was today, they just voted to increase the like tax break for low income people. They just gave them a tax break, which I don't want anybody to pay taxes. Like, who would want to pay taxes? And poor people should, are the most harmed by taxes. If you're rich, you probably don't really care. You're not as harmed by taxes, right? Like, so I get it. But if we're broke as a state, why are we lowering taxes? When if you're then you had to raise it for somebody else, didn't you? And they did. And that's like hidden in their legislation that they lowered it for these people, but raised it for businesses and high earners. So it's
poor
just
people
crazy.
Can make a profit on taxes every year, like up to $13,000 above what they pay in to their taxes. They can get back, literally making a profit, like doubling their income for the year.
I'm
That's
not that
wild.
knowledgeable on tax stuff, but yeah.
Well,
I just
that's the equity stuff. That's the redistribution of funds.
yeah, Jennifer's talking about the road diets they put us on. They take a 2-lane road
I
and
think
put it down
that,
to
so what they
one.
did on Highway 42, I believe that was
Yeah.
$18 million. Our jail only needed $4 million to be fully functioning. And I can't, living here, I can't see, like, it's smoother, but I don't get to Coos Bay any faster or safer.
We need all new leadership all around. It's nuts. So we're doing a thing. I think this past couple weeks we've reached like a new tier, like we haven't made the big time, but we formed some committees. We've got full blown committees of like 10 people working on various things like fundraising, events, candidate support, like, and they're all off on their own, doing their own thing, and that's really cool. You can't do that with like a group of 5 people, right? That would be like 2 people on a committee. So we've reached like a level where we're actually doing that, and we have people that have roles for things, and it's really cool to kind of see it all working. So
What,
I think
what's the
that'll start paying
Republican Party
dividends.
doing?
Nothing. They have nothing. They're not
Huh.
meeting. They're not communicating. They're not doing anything. They are opening my emails though.
Oh,
I see you, Michael. And they're opening them often and quickly.
That's funny.
Oh yeah. They're very interested. Who wouldn't be? I mean, we're doing things. Like we went to like almost every day we're doing things. It's awesome. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's awesome. These are people
You know,
in this community who have been waiting for stuff like this. And I feel privileged to be able to be a part of it and to meet all these new people. Every event, like well, I'm at the headquarters right now, and we're going to do from 7 to 9 pizza and drinks. And I bet there's going to be someone new there. Last week there was. I did that interview with Danielle and then walked out in the room, and there were fresh faces, and they stayed the whole time. And we learned about them and talked, and like, that's so cool. Like, that's what this is supposed to be.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It is. People wanting to get involved, and then you throw in the whole turning point thing, and it really is more nonpartisan. Charlie reached a lot of people who don't affiliate themselves with political parties.
That was a nice event.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I just mean the whole concept of it. Like that's still out there in the community, and that's something that people, I think, are still very inspired. They're wanting to get involved. So let me run down some events we've got on Monday. Dr. Frank is going to give a presentation on election integrity. That's a lot of words on the screen, but Monday, February 23rd. Yep, next Monday, 6 p.m. at the Coos Bay Library. You can learn more about election integrity. And then
go back. I want to write some stuff
March,
down. Sorry. I just got a pencil.
I got to go back. Monday, 6 p.m., Coos Bay Library. This is in your conservative news update weekly email.
Oh, in the email that I need to read?
Yeah. It's a good, it's turned into an informative thing, I think, for people. So
actually, I think I did. Let me make sure that I think I got it and was like, oh, I have to read that later.
Yeah. Just look at it, like glance at it at the beginning of each week, and then you can, you don't have to go to everything, but I'm sure there's stuff in there for everybody. And then this is in March, we're having a governor debate. So it'll be 3 Republican candidates we have confirmed right now. We have Danielle Bethel, David Medina, and Ed Deal coming March 14th at the Marshfield High School Auditorium. That main event is going to start at 7, but we're going to start at 5 and do a forum for all candidates that are not like all the other candidates, anybody but people running for governor. So
is that when I'm supposed to be at?
Yep.
Oh,
you better be there.
Okay.
So 5 p.m. It'll be probably an hour and a half of just round table, everybody answer general questions, and then we'll take a little intermission. We're trying to get something for the intermission, like food or something, but we're still working on the details. So the events committee is working on that. I never thought I would enjoy having committees, like being a part of them, but it's like
It has been fun.
if you do everything in one big meeting or one big group, it gets insane, right?
Mhm.
And then Brandi gave me this to put up. So April 3rd, that's quite a ways away, but we'll keep sharing it. So April 3rd at the Egyptian Theater.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of information. So it's kind of like an educational event. And there will be a link at some point where people can buy tickets online.
Very cool. Do you know what day of the week it is? Is it a Saturday or something?
It is going to be, I should know that. April 3rd. I want to say it was a Friday.
And again, next week, next Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Yes.
If you're interested in being a part of our Friends of Coos County Republicans group and seeing what we've got planned for the primary election in May and meeting some of the candidates, that's 6 p.m. next Wednesday.
Oh, it's Good Friday. My event
North
is
Bend
on
Library.
Good Friday. And there's a wine walk that evening. Oh, that's going to be a
So
good
this is
day.
on a Friday.
I'm excited. Oh, and I have my coffee with the candidate thing. You should show people that one too. You want me to send it to you?
Sure. When's that? That's the same morning of the governor debate, March 14th.
It is.
So
Mhm.
Cafe 101, you can meet Brandi for coffee. But yeah, so lots of stuff going on. Lots of events.
It is. Everything is starting to like pick up and get exciting. And I don't know, I feel like we just have a good crew of people that are getting involved in leadership right now that genuinely are there for the right reasons, for the most part. So it's nice.
Yep. And everybody's got their thing that they're focused on. Jeremy's working on some merch, some apparel and stuff. Jeremy and Doug. So yeah, if next week we're gonna like vote on that. So if that's something you want to be a part of, we raised some good money from the past couple months. So we're gonna reinvest that, get some merch, get some apparel, try and advertise our group and give people some stuff to wear. Or not give them, they're gonna have to pay for
Don't
it.
you guys have some t-shirts?
We do have some, but those are pretty much at cost right now. They were just like samples to try and figure out what we wanted to do. We're trying to buy a bunch of stuff so that we can, the fair booths and things like that, sell it. So
God, the fuckers is so good. It makes some pretty good merch.
Well, we need something with more broad appeal. Not everybody knows or should know what FOCA means. Friends of Coos County Republicans. FOCCR.
Everybody should know what that means. Yeah. Fuckers are for
would
everybody.
like to change the group name. My vote would be to change it to Friends of Coos County and just drop Republicans and have a group that's kind of like this, the Citizen Council, nonpartisan, just focused on engagement in civics and politics. So civics, that's a better word. We don't want politics anymore.
That's kind of what my event is centering around, is the civics aspect of it. How this stuff actually works.
Well, I am out of all the notices and things to talk about. Harry, what do you got?
March 14th one.
I don't think I have much. I don't know. Hopefully we'll keep getting the attention of more and more people.
Moving. Especially, we're really ramping up into election season.
Look at how far we've all come in just a year.
A little over a year, yep.
I mean, it's all happened really fast.
Yeah, right. Like a couple of years from now, we'll look back and be like, wow. But right now, it feels like it's still crazy and we're not really making any progress because The leaders are still there. If you haven't
May.
noticed, they're
May.
still there. Yeah.
May is coming.
I'm trying to put up here. I don't know if I can pull this up. I think this is the right one.
Turn right in May.
It's loading. Is this it? There it is. Cafe 101, March 14th in the morning. Coffee with Brandi. I will add these to our email.
Very cool.
Ways to get to know the candidates.
Yeah.
All right. I got to go to another meeting. We're going to come up with a questionnaire for candidates. So
awesome. Enjoy.
Fun
I look
stuff.
forward to seeing it.
Yeah. It'll be a good way to,
all right.
see the different candidates. I'm tired. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.